start to the computer class. Hope all is good at your end. Children, today we are going to continue with our previous topic with some new features. So let's begin our class.
Okay students, this is in continuation of our Unit 6 Database Development. And today we are going to learn about the database concepts, which is very important before we start doing our database practically. A database, if we talk about, as the name implies, is a base for the collection of data. And the data in a database is organized in such a way that information within the database can be easily retrieved or modified. So database is a repository of information needed for running certain functions in a corporation or organizations. And data should be accurate, private, and it should be protected from damage. So if we talk about this, first of all comes to our mind is about data item. Database primarily contains information about a data item. For example, a school database would contain information about students. Here the student is the data item, and the database will store the details of this data item. That is about the student. Now, field. Each question that we ask about our item is a field. Record is a set of information made up of fields stored in your database about one of the items. And value is the actual text or numerical amount or date that you put in while adding information to your database. Now let's understand this with the help of an example. So before that, it's very important to understand that relationship in our database. So if you remember, last time I told you about the database, and when we create a database, it is not just made up of one table. Database is made up of multiple tables, but if we combine them together, there should be some relationship between the tables. So if we are talking about the school database, so school database, there are so many departments. Okay, so every department, if we are making a table, all these departments should be then, they should be related to each other with the help of some key. And that should be very unique key through which we are going to combine them, merge them. Now, uniqueness helps to avoid accidental duplication of records. It happens in the class also. For example, it is given here also in our table. We have name, standard, and section. I have written here Ram, Ravi, and Sanjay. So you have Ravi and Ravi. How computer is going to identify who is this Ravi and who is this Ravi? You may have two different Ravis in your class, but computer has to identify. Your database has to identify. Okay, so uniqueness is very important, and that is to avoid any accidental duplication of the records. So there should be no error. Fine. So for that, there has to be some, unique key field in the tables. So here, if we talk about the database, every database table should have one or more fields designated as key. You can assign a unique value to this key for differentiating records that may have similar names or address. Now here, I told you already that we have here Ram, Ravi, Sanjay. Now, in this table, it will be extremely difficult to differentiate between the student records as they have names that are similar. Now, how can we differentiate? We can add a unique key like roll number. So roll numbers are always different. Okay, they cannot be similar. So we have it here now as 19, 20, 21, 22. So this Ravi is having a roll number as 20 and this Ravi is having a roll number as 21. Even for that matter, if we create a database in the schools, they have their admission numbers which are unique. They are different, for every child. Like if we have roll numbers we talk about, every class starts with the series 1 2 3 4, and sections also 1 2 3 4. Roll numbers are 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 and so on. But if we talk about the admission number cannot be same, and it is never same in the schools. So that is absolutely unique. So we can keep key as the admission number as well. So this is very important to understand before we create a database. Now, once you have to create a table. So tables are very, very important because we have to first of all understand about the data types. A field's data type determines what type of data you can enter into a field. For example, a field whose data type is number can only store numeric data and does not allow you to enter text data into it. Right? So you have to be very, very particular. If you start entering data into the tables, first of all, it is, you have to keep in your mind what kind of data you are using in that table. Then there is an option also, data type. You have to choose that this data type is numeric, alphanumeric, binary, datetime, or other variable types. So this is what table is going to ask you once you just start entering your data into the tables. So there are different types of categories. You have numeric, alphanumeric, binary, datetime, and other variable types. Now numeric type, if you talk about, so if you have to enter any numeric value into a table, say mobile number, age, or your roll number or admission number. So for that you have to find out what kind of a numeric data type you have to use for your table. So you have different types of numeric data types also, whether it is Boolean, yes or no, you have tiny integer, you have small integer, you have integer, you have big integer, and I am sure you know already about this, that you have numeric, decimal, real, float, double. You know about these already, what these mean. So if you have to use maybe admission number, mobile number, so out of this numeric data type you are going to choose the numeric data type. So this way you have to create a table in a database. So similarly you have alphanumeric data, you have alphabetic data. That means you are going to enter the text, then you have to choose your text value for the alphabetic data type. And there are other data types, whichever date and time also. If you have to use date in a table, then you have to use date type. So similarly there are so many data types that we're going to learn next time, and after that we are going to start making the tables, which are very important, and then I'm going to show you how to create a relationship between the tables, and then how can we enter data into the table, how can we use the different data types in the table, and I'm sure then you're going to understand it better. Till we start the practicals, understand the basic structure of your database. That's very important.
Thank you, Shemstars. That's all for today. Hope you understood the topic very well. If you have any doubts, you can drop your queries in the Google Classroom. Take care of yourself and God bless you all.